Hey, what's up everybody, this is Muth24, and today I'm taking a look at the Star-Lord figure from the Marvel Legends line. As you can tell from the packaging here, this is based off the movie version, and does include his Walkman, his headphones, an arm for Groot, as they Build-A-Figure in this series, the orb that contains the power gem, the other face without the mask on that you can show Chris Pratt walking around and dancing, and then he comes with, I believe, 2 quad blasters, as well as the trench coat and the belt that goes around it for his little satchel there. On the side we have shots of Star-Lord, and then on the back we have a look at the figure with some of his other parts swapped out. You got his headphones on there, his maskless face, good look at all the details on his trench coat, and then obviously there's the Build-A-Figure for Groot. The other figures in this line, I think this is one of the strongest lines out of the ones that I'm familiar with, at least, for the Build-A-Figure Marvel Legends stuff. Is that it includes Star-Lord, Gamora, Rocket Raccoon, Drax, Nova, Richard Rider Nova, to be more specific, and then the Iron Man Mark III spacesuit, which is from the comics, actually. It's from the Brian Michael Bendis run of the Guardians of the Galaxy storyline, and Iron Man teams up with them kind of in the first few issues there. He's one of the earliest guest characters they have in the Guardian stuff, the current run. And that's kind of the weak entry in this line, I'd say. I've seen all the other ones in store shelves before. The movie Guardian stuff has a lot of great detail to it. The Richard Rider Nova is fantastic looking with the sort of aqua color metallic shine, as well as the gold and the red. The space suit Iron Man is a little weird in that it just uses a flat, basic red color for everything, and then has the shiny gold. And it's strange to me that Star-Lord's trench coat is more shiny than Iron Man's armor. I didn't quite get that. I'm sure it's cheaper paint. Don't get me wrong. I totally figure that's the case. But it looks cheap. That's the problem. Whereas the rest of these figures, most of them I've come across, look really great in terms of their paint quality, in terms of their build and all that. Taking a look at Star-Lord out of the box, I think he's actually, in terms of detail, probably the best of the 3 that I own. There's some really cool paint apps even underneath the trench coat there, with the details on his pants and the kneecaps being this more leathery, sort of hard look to them. You even have some great paint app on the inside of the trench coat, whether that was intentional or not. I think it looks really good. The belt buckle, he's got kind of just a plain looking shirt there, but the buckle on the satchel belt there is great. The shoulder armor and the little wrist armor there looks really good. The gloves look great. You even have the silver and black on the leg boosters there. The quad blasters look alright. I mean, there's nothing to write home about per se, but there's some nice gold in the middle there to sort of clash against the gunmetal color. The helmet itself maybe could be a little bit more of a gunmetal color instead of this just stark black, but the gold and the red, as well as the silver there on the mouthpiece, I think kind of make up for it. This collar and sort of just a leathery material for the trench coat overall is great. You again have some nice ridges along the arms on or the sleeves rather, on the jacket. As far as his accessories go, we do have, as I mentioned before, his face without the mask, which bears more of a likeness to Chris Pratt, I think, than the Captain America head did to Chris Evans. We have the sphere, the little orb that holds the power gem. We have his headphones. And then we have the tape deck, which, truth be told, is just a chunk of sort of orangey yellow. There's like no details painted onto this thing. I don't even know where you'd stick it on him because it doesn't have like an obvious belt hook for those or anything. You probably have to put it in his hand. I don't know how well he'd hold them because these hands are just kind of a relaxed grip. Maybe you can stick it in there. He does actually hold on to it, not half bad. That's surprising to me. But again, I don't really know what you do with it compared to any of the other accessories. And then you do get a big Groot arm, which I have to imagine Groot's actually pretty impressive when you get the whole thing built together, just based on the arm size alone. He's got to be decently tall, which is kind of nice, but for me it's not a huge deal because I don't plan to collect a whole lot of the other stuff from this line. He does hold on to the quad blasters quite nicely, which again a little surprising considering how relaxed the grip is there. The arms will go up about this far, will rotate at the shoulders no problem. You get a rotation down here beneath the shoulder, you get a bend at the elbow, you get a rotation at the wrist. He doesn't come with any alternate hands, so there's none of the removing of the pegs in the wrist there. You can get the head to move back and forth. The collar of the jacket does kind of rub up against the chin of his helmet there, so can't get it to go. I mean, you can get it to go 360, but I don't recommend it as much as the other figures. This satchel thing is just kind of loose there. The torso, you can bend it forward a little bit, can bend it backward even less because it's going to just bump against the trench coat. You can get the legs to splay out a little bit. You can get some rotation below the hip there. You can get a bit of a bend at the knee. The thing that I kind of worry about with this knee is one that the kneecap doesn't really let you bend it much further than that. Also, you're going to hit the trench coat anyways, so you're not going to have to, I think, worry about moving the leg all that much at the knee. But then you do get some swivel side to side at the foot. And then you do have a joint here that can flip it back and forth as much as you want to. So for the sake of just showing off the head with the headphones on, there you go, he's jamming to some tunes. And just see how well he holds onto the orb. That is pretty much not at all. The hand does not open wide enough for him to hold on to it. I mean, if you had him at a perfect pose, he could kind of like relax against his wrist there, but for the most part, that's just not really a feasible option. It'd be kind of nice if they had a way that you could stick it inside of his bag here. But again, probably the more exciting accessory would be either of the quad blasters in Star-Lord's hand. That's pretty much it for this figure, though. I think of the three, it's probably the best in terms of overall quality. I think that Captain America has maybe a little bit better posability, but I think the detail on this one is notably better. And just, you know, there's a ton of little details here and there in the figure, and the posability, given the fact that he's wearing a coat and that he has all this sort of bulk built up on top of him, is actually still pretty solid. The accessories, I mean, they could do more with them, but at the same time, it's a tape deck player. It's in there for fun. I'm not planning to do a whole lot with it anyways. So that's pretty much it for this figure, and with that, I will see you guys next time.